Hey guys, Red here, and today I am joined by
Hello.
Tazpa.
It's been a while.
It has been a minute. I'm going to be playing a game of Real or Fake. Basically, I have a plot on my phone of Star Trek from this shirt and this shirt. This is a whole Star Trek show. I know, 2 videos in a row.
See, I thought you were just going to tell me the episode, and I had to figure out from the episode name.
Well, I thought about that one.
And then a clue is the plot.
Well, I thought about that one. I'll do that one next. There is enough plots from Star Trek that are weird that we can have multiple of these. So if this one does well, we'll probably do another one.
Welcome to Real or Fake. These are the rules. Red reads a plot off his phone. Either it's real or it's fake. If Taz guesses it correctly, it's 5 points. If Red has to give him a series name and he gets it right, it's 3 points. If Taz guesses it wrong, Red gets 5 points. If Taz wins, he gets to pick the next video. If Red wins, he gets to pick the next one. Here's the Star Trek TV series in chronological order. We have Enterprise at 2151 to 2155. We have Discovery season 1 and 2 to 2256 to 2258. We have A Strange New World at 2259. The original series at 2265. Then we have the original series starting in 2269. Then we have Next Generation at 2364. Deep Space Nine then comes in at 2369, and Voyager comes in at 2371. Lower Decks then comes at 2380, and Prodigy is 2383, and Picard is 2399. This is only including the TV shows and not the movies. The movies would come after the original series, and then after Next Generation.
Here's the first one. Kirk and his crew fight a gigantic house cat.
It sounds like a plot of a D&D episode.
Yeah.
The cat just jumps on the table.
Well, but you gotta fight this now.
Although,
Do you think
I
it's
feel
real?
like it's not a house cat.
Okay.
It might be like an alien type cat. Like it might be an alien house cat, like Battle Cat.
No,
but
like legit house cat.
I could see it being a real episode though.
Original series was weird.
Yeah. Or they're animated.
Yeah, that's also fair.
I could see it on either way. Just them running out of ideas. They're like, giant, and then the cat runs on their table as they're trying to figure out giant house cat.
Kirk and his crew fight a house cat. Is that real or fake?
I feel like it would be real.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Are you positive?
No.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with it anyway.
Okay, that's 5 points.
Okay. I was like, I feel like it would be a real episode.
So I know you watched some of Next Generation, so a majority of these are not Next Generation, so that way you're not spoiled.
I'm into season 2.
Into season 2, okay.
Episode
So
8.
may or may not be a real episode. This is not an episode of Next Generation. May or may not be. Okay? Riker watches history unravel in front of him as he watches it on the holodeck.
Q involved?
Nope.
Because I know Q was involved in messing with time.
Correct.
So was Picard.
Well, honestly, if you talk to a bunch of them are involved.
Well, it had something to do with going back in time, and the protoplasms were supposed to evolve, they didn't, and Q was right there like, Picard, this is your fault. And there's like 3 versions of Picard through time.
Season finale and series finale, sorry, and I know what you're talking about, because, by the way, none of the episodes I mentioned in my top 10 list of time travel, you can watch it now, is on this list. Sorry. Any of the 13. Because I had 3 honorable mentions.
I feel like that would possibly be an episode because,
Do you want a hint?
The holodeck is very prevalent.
It is. But again, it's not an episode of Next Generation.
I mean, there is a episode where they get stuck in what basically becomes their reality because they get stuck in the holodeck.
So I wanted to use this one to vent about this episode a little. So do you think this is a real or fake episode?
I'm thinking it's real because
do you want a hint?
You wanted to vent.
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
Because you will not believe me.
Sure.
It's an episode of Enterprise with Sam Beckett. You know, set hundreds of years before any of the series before?
Before or after?
It's set. It is literally the first show in the show timeline. It's set after the movies, but that's only set after the movies because in the last movie they travel back in time, so it's after
First
they
Contact.
travel. Yeah,
It's after First Contact.
it's after First Contact, but before anything else,
So shouldn't Riker be like really young?
or non-existent if it's thousands of years before.
Yeah. Like,
So would that be real or fake then?
fake?
No, it's real.
What?
It's the last episode of Enterprise.
How the heck does that...
Why do you think people hate that episode?
Other than fan service, how does that make any sense?
Literally, he watches the whole episode go on, and then like he interacts with them and everything else, and then you back out and you go, "Oh, this is an episode of
Next Generation.
Yeah," and it's like, what the world?
So basically, it was
Riker
the entire thing of Enterprise was just Riker in the holodeck going,
and that's what people are believing, and it's
So he's just going. Where's the book? He's going. I know some of these words.
But like, it's so dumb. For the last episode of your show,
You're gonna pan out and have it be all a history. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Why do you think I wanted to vent about? See how stupid this is?
That,
Yeah.
like I said, I thought that could be a real
No,
episode.
you're fine.
Because, like, I have not heard anything that sounds outrageous.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we fixed that. Okay. Due to going warp 10, Tom Paris, Voyager's pilot, starts mutating into a slug, then makes Janeway a slug as well, and they have 2 kids.
Sure, that's not an episode of Doctor Who.
None of those characters in Doctor Who. So, do you think that they become slugs in a real episode?
I can see it.
Do you know what episode? Yeah, you're right. Okay. Uhura meets another of her race. She finds out that they are the last, and it's revealed that this man is actually a shapeshifter after her necklace.
I feel like you'd be a lot after a lot more than just her necklace, but I feel like that's actually an episode. I think I've actually seen that clip. That the whole my race is an endangered species. Turns out I'm actually one of the last of my race, and then a shapeshifter shows up and goes, no. I mean, that's kind of been done quite a bit.
Do you know what series it's from? Do you need a hint on that, or do you
Say
want to say it's
Uhura?
real? Yeah, Uhura, yeah.
Isn't that OG?
Well, so Uhura's in OG, which is that one. But on top of that, she's also in Strange New Worlds, because Strange New Worlds is the prequel too.
Right.
So she
the
was
direct prequel.
Yeah.
Because she was with Pike, and then Pike went, "Oh, Kirk's captain."
Well, no. So Pike got put in a wheelchair.
Depending on the timeline.
No. In the original series timeline.
In the original timeline.
Yeah.
Not in the
If you're talking
Chris Pine timeline.
You're talking Chris Pine. That's different timeline.
It's the
Strange New Worlds is precursor to the original series, not precursor to the.
It's not the Pine timeline.
Right.
Even though I think the actor's the same one.
No.
Isn't the actor of Pine? He looks like a younger version of the actor.
I know. The casting on Strange New Worlds was really well done.
Because he looks like a younger version of the actor who played Captain Pike in the Pine timeline.
Yeah, no. Not to mention the one that was playing him in Pine timeline looks like a version of him from the original series, because he was originally in the original series as... So Pine's
as an admiral?
So, no. So Pine originally, the original show pilot, right? They shot it. Pine was the captain, not Kirk. And then they were like, hey, I don't really like this actor, don't really like this character, try with a different character. So they had to reshoot the episode, and it's called The Cage. So then, later on in the original series, they watched the pilot on court. It's interesting.
So it's a clip show episode.
Kinda, yeah.
Most court episodes are clip show episodes.
Yeah, but so
I don't like clip shows.
unless done well, and most don't do it well.
No.
But do you think that she meets the last of her race and turns out to be a shapeshifter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That is, in fact, actually a fake episode. That's actually an episode of Futurama.
I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Yeah, that makes yeah. Leela.
Yep.
See, I knew that was a episode that has been done 1,000 times.
That's my favorite plot to put in here as the fake ones. Let's see.
Why didn't you bring up an episode of Futurama where Leonard Nimoy is literally in it?
I know, isn't it great?
You should bring up an episode of Futurama where it actually has Leonard Nimoy.
Kirk and Spock meet a planet full of evil teddy bears.
That's Star Wars.
No, they're actual evil teddy bears. Like Ted.
Oh, I was talking about Ewoks.
No. Like, you're talking...
Evil man eating teddy bears.
No, it's actually... It said that this episode inspired Ewoks.
Okay, so it's a real episode.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. That's a fake episode. I just...
Damn
it! Riker gets split into two people due to a transporter accident.
Yes.
Yes, it's a fake episode.
Real episode.
Yes, it's a real episode.
It's actually mentioned in, okay, it's either Riker or somebody else. But there is an episode like that mentioned when Matt Pat brings up how a transporter would actually work and whether the food on the Enterprise is actually poop.
Oh, it is. But you're right, that is a real episode.
I'm pretty sure that was evidence with Matt Pat mentioned.
Voyager crew bumps into the edge of the universe, figuring out for the last half a season they were going in the wrong direction.
They wouldn't know it was half a season, but I could see that happening where it's like, sir, something messed with our instruments. What's our position? We're at the end of the known universe, sir. How can it be? We were going towards home. Our instruments apparently were malfunctioning, sir. I could see that happening, especially with the void in space that attacked Picard and his crew.
What you talking about? So this is a real fake episode then?
I want to say real.
No, that was fake.
But with the void in space,
I understand.
They could have brought him back.
I understand. 3 crew members of Deep Space Nine become super small and have to save the day.
That's an episode of Flash.
So does that mean it's not a real
technically, it's
episode?
two characters of Flash, but...
Does that mean it's not a real episode, then?
No. Doesn't mean it wasn't done before Flash. But I know they did it in Flash.
You're right.
Cisco and
Ralph.
Stretchy Man.
Yeah. Wow. Rubber Band Man needs some respect on his name.
That's not Rubber Band Man.
Mr. Fantastic
no!
needs respect on his name.
It's Elongated Man. Real?
It is, in fact, real.
Okay.
Alright.
Because Honey, I Shrunk a Kid was a 90s movie.
Yeah. Due to alien bacteria, Data gets a dream, one of which a talking cake version of Deanna Troy.
I don't know. If it is, that's a further season than I am in, if it's a real episode. But it does feel like something they would do early 2000s.
And I've actually seen the behind the scenes of this episode, and it's really funny how they made her into a cake.
Okay, so they did do it, or are you just pulling my leg again?
Well, I thought you like the one time.
Yeah, you lied to me, and you got me thinking like you were telling the truth. Because you said shit like that, where you're like, oh, I saw the behind the scenes, or oh, I actually looked into the research of how they did this, and how they did this stunt, and oh man, it's cool, and I'm like, oh, so it's real, and you're like, gotcha! I want to say real.
No, it's real.
Okay.
So Khan uses dead bodies as hosts for Borg and releases a plague, causing cemeteries on Earth to do the same way.
Bull.
What?
Bull.
That's what I said.
Yes, bull.
No,
It's wrong.
Borg is in an episode of Enterprise. You can't use that.
I was going to say, because the Borg is not introduced until Next Generation.
Okay.
So for Khan to have joined with the Borg, and also I feel like you're just changing the Borg for Cybermen.
No.
And Khan for Missy.
So does that mean it's real or fake?
Fake.
Okay, yes, you're right. It's an episode of Doctor Who.
Yes.
Oh. Scotty gets a hair growth medicine to cure his baldness and grows hair everywhere.
Now you see. I could see that being an actual episode because I've seen similar episodes of other shows.
Yeah, original series was weird.
I don't know what show I saw where he was like, oh, I'm going to put, because I'm losing my hair. And then, turns into Bigfoot.
I don't remember. It could have been an episode of Star Trek.
Where he's just like, puts in hair gel.
Yeah.
And then, like, he was bald. Next thing you know, he just goes, and he just
So, does that
turns
make
into
it real
Cousin It.
fake? Cousin It. He just becomes short, too?
Depends if he was already short. I mean, it might have been a big-eared, whatchamacallit?
It's called a Ferengi.
Yeah.
Put some respect on their name.
We would like to make you a bargain.
So, real or fake?
I'm gonna go fake.
It is a fake episode.
Okay.
The original series was weird.
Yeah,
So speaking of original series being weird, someone steals Spock's brain. Captain Archer falls in love with a bug. A slug, sorry.
Again with the slugs? With the space slugs?
Oh yeah. Space slugs are weird, man. They after.
I want to say
And that's Enterprise.
I want to say it's a real episode.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
A ghost of Dr. Crusher's grandmother's lover loves on her too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
And gross.
Yes.
Real?
Yes. It's awful. It's worse than it sounds. Cisco and a few of his crew get stuck in a game board, an alien game board.
Are you sure this isn't Neil Patrick Harris?
He's not in Star Trek that I'm aware of.
No, but he's in Doctor Who as the Game Master.
No, as the... It's not Game Master.
Celestial Toy Maker.
There you go.
Well, the Toy Maker is.
Yeah.
But... And he does trap people in games.
Do you think it's an episode of Doctor Who that I just said? There was... I mean, I've already done it once.
Yeah, and it... I mean,
So do you think
technically he did trap the Doctor in, like, chests and stuff in the original version of the Celestial Toy Maker.
So do you think it's real or fake?
Fake.
That's a real episode. Due to interference by aliens of a different variety, Spock becomes fully blood human. And they need to use prosthetics like they use in the show to make him look like...
I can see it. That's an actual episode. Just like as a nod and wink to the camera and like a meta episode.
Well, and, you know, do you want more details about the episode, or do you think it's real?
I think it's real.
Oh, it's just real. It's a real episode of Strange New Worlds.
I mean,
Literally, he becomes human, and then literally turn around, and his fiance's family shows up to prove that he's not Vulcan enough to date their daughter, and he proves that he's Vulcan enough, and that any humans could do it too. And it's a big fu to the other family, like, dude, you're being mean to my mom because she's a human. Knock it off.
and I feel like, but I feel like it's one of those meta. Oh, you know what? This he didn't want to wear the prosthetics, so we're gonna give him a small break, but then we're gonna still make him wear the prosthetics.
They show the ears that he wears in the show, but they don't show the makeup on it. So it's like, you look different.
It's because it's like, I didn't want to go through the whole process, okay?
The crew of Lower Deck finds a supercomputer only shown in the animated series.
I can see it. Because they're both animated, I can see it as a real episode. As a wink and a nod to, hey, this is animated, this was only shown in the animated series, it wasn't shown in the real life, so we're gonna wink and nod, and then all of a sudden you get the crossover between 2D and 3D.
It's great. But yes, it's a real episode.
Okay. So I figured it was a real episode.
Data increases his intelligence, gaining telepathic abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like he messes with Troy. Because of the...
That'd be really funny if it was real. It's a fake.
I could see it. He's like, I want to become more human. And so he messes with his brain, and then he becomes... like, because he's already done the freaking emotional patch.
Yeah.
That screwed with... that made him... And then it... Life forms, itty bitty life forms.
So this is one of my favorite synopses that I found. Kirk and the rest of the Enterprise go to a planet full of kaijus and have to make themselves grow to fight the monsters. I was thinking that you were going to say that. I was hoping you were going to say that. So is it a real or fake episode?
I mean, there has been a crossover between Transformers and Star Trek before.
I mean, Q
In
just
comics.
showed up. Q just showed up and told them to make their monsters grow, so I don't know what to tell you.
It's a fake episode.
Yes, it is. Janeway travels back to meet Thomas Edison and flies his flying machine.
Thomas Edison had a flying machine?
In Star Trek, he did.
I know that.
I may have mixed up famous celebrities in this
I know who did have a flying machine, or at least designed one. Don't know if he ever actually made
Oh,
it
it was
real.
Leonardo DiCaprio, that's right.
Da Vinci, thank you very much.
Oh, you're right, Leo DiCaprio Da Vinci. My bad.
Leonardo da Vinci he basically created a helicopter.
Yeah. So, did she travel back in time and meet
No.
Leonardo da Vinci?
No, because you keep changing it. So fake.
Well, sort of. So,
She didn't meet Thomas Edison and take a flying machine.
correct. That is fake. She did meet Leonardo da Vinci and did fly a flying machine,
Okay,
but she did not travel back in time. It was a hologram version
It was
of
the holodeck.
It was a holodeck. Spock has a child, and that child, due to her Vulcan blood, she ages rapidly.
I feel like that's a real thing. Because I feel like I feel like he wouldn't actually have a kid, but I feel like he does father a child. But I don't know that the Vulcan blood causes her to age rapidly, but maybe mature rapidly. Not necessarily age. So I'm thinking real, but like you changed it a little.
It's fake.
Okay.
Kirk meets Hitler and agrees with him for the sake of the timeline.
I feel like you wouldn't have put this on your time travel list because it had Hitler. But if it was...
If Kirk was the only one that went back, one of the rules was only if one person goes back, then it would be on the time travel list.
Okay, I thought it had to be one of the main characters.
Kirk would have been a main character.
Yeah.
Unless it was a Strange New Worlds episode, which he's a secondary character in that one.
But I don't feel like you wouldn't have agreed with him, but more like, I can't change the timeline. Like, if I change the...
He agreed with Hitler for the sake of the timeline.
So he didn't literally agree with Hitler. He wanted to kill Hitler. He was just like, I can't change the timeline.
It's fake.
Okay.
Kirk meets Hitler and agrees with him for the sake of the timeline.
I feel like you wouldn't have put this on your time travel list because it had Hitler. But if it was...
If Kirk was the only one that went back, one of the rules was only if one person goes back, then it would be on the time travel list.
Okay, I thought it had to be one of the main characters.
Kirk would have been a main character.
Yeah.
Unless it was a Strange New Worlds episode, which he's a secondary character in that one.
But I don't feel like you wouldn't have agreed with him, but more like, I can't change the timeline. Like, if I change the...
He agreed with Hitler for the sake of the timeline.
So he didn't literally agree with Hitler. He wanted to kill Hitler. He was just like, I can't change the timeline. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one, of the few.
And there's also a timeline directive with the...
There's a... What?
You don't know that?
I don't know half the directives. I know the Prime Directive.
Oh, yeah, no.
Do not interfere with the racist...
real thing with Star Trek.
Like,
It-
do not...
it's-
The Prime Directive.
Yeah.
Do not interfere with any of the... like, any way that a species maintains itself.
So do you think it's a real or fake episode?
I feel like it could be real.
It is, in fact, a fake episode. But
I don't feel like you wouldn't have agreed with him, but more like, I can't change the timeline. Like, if I change the...
he agreed with Hitler for the sake of the timeline.
So he didn't literally agree with Hitler. He wanted to kill Hitler. He was just like, I can't change the timeline. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one, of the few.
And there's also a timeline directive with the...
There's a... What?
You don't know that?
I don't know half the directives. I know the Prime Directive.
Oh, yeah, no.
Do not interfere with the racist...
real thing with Star Trek.
Like,
It-
do not...
it's-
The Prime Directive.
Yeah.
Do not interfere with any of the... like, any way that a species maintains itself.
So do you think it's a real or fake episode?
I feel like it could be real.
It is in fact a fake episode. But timeline directive is a real thing. It gets introduced in the Next Generation, but really gets enforced in Deep Space Nine and in Voyager.
Why do I feel like it came about because of time?
That's possible. I'm not going to say you're wrong on that one.
Because join us next time and we'll figure out what our next video is. Let us know in the comments below whether you want us to do more like this, where we're working together like we used to when we first started.
Oh gosh, that was years ago. Thank you for joining us for our Real or Fake. There